everybody, it's me, Jarius here again, and welcome to another episode of Draw with Jarius, episode 9, as I'm recording this, and yes, we're on the ninth episode already, y'all. Wow. And for those of you not in the know, this is the series where I just talk on as I attempt to, and whilst we watch something playing in the background. And for context, what we have um, on display for today is doing some style studies of Shigezie0's and thinking in mind his sketching style and with his line art, because I really like it. I feel like it's a pitch perfect style for the kind of feel that I want to go for. So here I am doing my best to think about his methods, like his thought process, like how he would go about it. Because that's kind of my style in whenever I'm studying an artist and I want to learn on how it is that they do things, and I essentially do my best to think like they think and incorporate it in a way that makes sense to me, you know? And so that's what we got going for today. So, yes, I do hope you come to love these sketches. I learned a lot, as I could tell in the aftermath for sure. I definitely look forward to, incorporating what I've learned in these next drawings and illustrations that I'll be doing. So yes, I look forward to that, and I hope you do too. As always, follow me on Twitter or Instagram, or pretty much Pinterest actually. To be honest with you, I'm still incorporating a official social media that is reliable per se, because I've kind of been like, okay, so like I don't want to drag it on for too long, but social media basically confuses me as far as the growing is concerned, and so that itself has been quite the headache. Not, you know, a headache is a little bit of a strong word. It's like something I don't give much energy to, like social media and growing and all that. It's not so much something that I focus on because it's one of those things that you can't control, you know. And so it's like, why am I gonna give so much attention to it? But it's like uh, something that's obviously important because getting involved with people and getting in front of the eyes of people is something that I'm still getting used to. Um, but it's something that I like to, and inspires growth and challenge. So that's always great. Along with these, doing these videos too, getting me to talk and get better at like talking and pretty much communicating. So, that's always welcomed and all that. It's like working through the anxiety, I guess you could say, or like the overthought process with it, and making the conscious effort to be intentional with that and like being better with it. But anyway, I'm sorry for that long tangent, but that's basically the point of these um, draw with me's. It gives me the opportunity to uh, be transparent and be honest. So, as if I'm um, making that conscious effort to be honest and sincere whenever I make videos in general, because it's like, well, I mean, what else can I do? No. Um, I'm a very like honest kind of character with like the approach and the thinking and all that. I wear my like uh, emotions on my face. So, I I try to think of how to say it. Um, I was thinking of that phrase. It's like you wear your emotions on your sleeves or something like that. But basically, what I'm trying to say is that uh, it's not easy. It's not easy to like hide feelings, because it's like I see that time and time again where people are like they have it so easy where they can just hide what they're feeling um and I just see right through that, and so I'm like, oh, okay, well, it's important to be respectful of other people's um feelings and all that. So I kind of just here doing my own thing, and having fun and learning and growing and all that. Just like with this art and I basically I'm basically on a study determination to really figure out what it is that I want to do with the line art, and as well as get a better understanding of painting in general, because it's like the line art and the painting, I use the same brush for both of those things, and yet it's so interesting how the approach to both of those is different. Um, the kind of feel that I want to go for is sketchy, not so much like um, perfect line art, because like that is already like really stressful, and getting the lines to look uh, harmonized and all that. So I just the kind of style that I want to go for is like not so strict. Like my inspiration and all-time favorite artist, who is also the author of my favorite anime, Soichiro Yamamoto, his art is like, wow, it's like um for the longest time it's been like my dream art style, and it still is. And it's like, I also do not just want to limit myself either, to where it's like um, you can see the art in it's like you can see it's a direct parallel to his art style, and it's like I do want to kind of put my own spin on it because it's like lately with my art and studying him, it gets like limiting in a sense because I'm only taking influence from his art and his style of things, and that approach has been like limiting in a sense because I only have been taking inspiration from one artist and taking in his own ways of drawing. And so it's like I feel like there is more to learn than from just one artist. Because another one too that inspires me is Jesu art. You know, his OC Mina. It's funny, like the first time I came across Jesu art, it was off by looking from for some references of one of my old OCs with blue hair. You know, because Amina also has blue hair, and so it was that how I came across Jesu because like I saw a fan art of his OC and she was in the Spider-Man shirt with the orange underwear, and I was like, "Whoa, what anime is this girl from?" You know, and so I was shocked to see that she's actually an OC, someone's OC, and I'm like, "Wow, like that's such a great design," you know, and so um, that inspired me to follow Jesu and take his art course. And yeah, it's like I learned a lot from these two, and they will go down as my inspiration for my art style. Um, Speaking of the artists too, it's like that inspired me to do YouTube and um, what I would believe is to be a fun creative to do it is Sam does art. His style of videos and his his approach to art is very much like how I want to approach it because he doesn't do binge on fan art per se. It's more like he just does his own thing and it works, you know, and so that's what I want to do too. I mean, I want to do my own thing as well and learn and just basically not be so constricted to just doing fan art or original characters per se. It's like what I would like to do is just original work in general, not like primary or like the only thing, for sure. But like the like the main drive of my art, where it's like you can see it and you're like, bro, what anime is this girl from? And then they'll be like, oh wow, like this guy made that, like that is incredible. And so that is the kind of aesthetic that I want to shoot for, and so uh, that being said, it's like we gotta figure out what it is that we want to do with painting and sketching. I do want to apologize too. I'm over here yawning like crazy. It's 6 in the morning from where I am. I'm recording this early because it's pretty much how I do these draw with me's. I like to get them in the morning and record them because it's like gotta get the early bird gets the worm, and so um, I love waking up in the morning. It like gives me more time to draw, and really when you really stop to think about it, it's like drawing. Like for me, in a sense, it like time feels very short. Um, but when I can actually muster up the strength to get up in the morning, then it's like the day feels much more manageable because I have more time to work with, and so um, it has its drawbacks too. I do love sleep. I won't like no matter how no matter how I like no matter how many times I get up early, it's like I love sleep because it's like it's kind of pretty much built into me because to give you an idea, whenever I was in school from like 8th grade to my senior year in high school, I had to get up 5:30 in the morning every day because I was the first bus stop on my bus, which basically means I had the least amount of time to get ready because it was right off the bat, it would be there. And sometimes, a lot of times actually, I would miss the bus because of that. So it's like I didn't have luxury to sleep in and, basically um, have a few more hours to sleep, and so um, and that isn't to say that I don't appreciate it as well either, because it's like the more time you have in the day, the more you can do, and so it is a great thing to, or like a great trait to keep consistent with, and I do ever so want to keep consistent with it, especially as an illustrator, because it's like drawing takes time, and the more time you have, the more you can draw. So it does work out. I'm just saying that um, I would love to sleep more than I actually do, because like what I'm more I could sleep more than I'm capable of. Because like I'll give you guys an example. Like my dad, he can sleep through whatever, man. yeah, um, he can just nap any part of the day that he wants to, and it's like so easy for him. And my mom, I take more after my mom when it comes to sleeping, because she's like it's like a one and done for her when it comes to sleep. Like if I wake up in, or if like for whatever reason I wake up in the night, then I can't go back to sleep, and I'm the same way as her. So it's like um, her falling to sleep. It's um, sometimes a struggle. I get that too. And when it does come to sleeping, it's like the sleep is over. um, it's like at least like waking up. That's definitely the hardest part. Um, Getting out of that like drowsy phase, if you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it gets fun. It gets fun though. The other day I found that there was actually a video game store over at a mall where I live, and where they sell games like old school and new games as well. And it's like, wow. It jogged up some childhood memories. Because I definitely had a gaming era back in my day when I was a little boy. I had all kinds of games. um, my favorite childhood video game that I can tell you is Super Mario Sunshine. Um, I absolutely loved that beach aesthetic that it had, or like the um, vibrant atmosphere that it took place in. And it's like it was. I got to play it in a time where uh, life was pretty sad and things were pretty down as a kid. But it's like when I got to playing the game, because Of course, it was also the game that introduced me to Mario. And so it's like when I got to playing it, it was like suddenly all the things that made me depressed in the situation I was in just went away. And I could basically lose myself to this joyful game. And so, it's such a beautiful impact to think that games can have such a an influence on you, so to speak. Another childhood game that I grew up with was Halo. And that in particular, it's like I got to play Combat Evolved on the Xbox with my brother and my uncle. And I mean, just in general, my family. You know, um, I still remember the matchups and sitting down with like my cousins or my aunt or uncles, and we just have fun with the game, and it leaves good memories. And it's like there's a lot to think about. Um, it's so funny to think about. Like when you play a game, it's like you have a memory that you associate with it. And so to give you guys a fun example, um, I was playing Super Smash Brothers Brawl on the first day that um, we had gotten it, me and my brother. I was just like over the moon and overly excited to unwrap it for Christmas. And um, me, my brother, and my cousins got to playing it right away. And we just had so much fun with it. And it's like a lot of the times when I think back to my childhood fun times, I think back to a lot of gaming. And it's like gaming itself, it's like it pretty much made up for the lack of like confrontation of people. Um, I'm not sure how to say it correctly, but like, um, I got placed into plenty of small classes in school, and to begin with, my communication, if you can't tell already, is uh, pretty bad. But it's like when I would play a game, it's would put me in the atmosphere to like basically not focus on what I don't have and focus on what's in front of me, and what was in front of me was fun. Um, and it's not like I didn't want to talk to people. I would definitely, of course, try. But a lot of the time, it was either people thought I was being a bird, or no, people thought that like they were being a burden to me because I um, was struggling to talk. Or it's just thing that was weird, and so that too, it was like really hard to uh, come to terms with, and saddening to think about. I mean, like I like trying to think back to the kind of thinking that I was at when I was in school is very different to how I am now. um, Even just like when I graduated senior year, and thinking back to now, it's like even then that was a huge mental uh, change in just the 5 years. So it is also pretty crazy to think about how fast you can grow mentally with just yeah. It's just crazy how you can grow mentally. It's a beautiful thing to think back on too, because it's like if I knew then what I know now, oh my gosh, I would be stuck in what ifs all day, man. um, but anyway, going back on topic, playing video games has been a common theme for me. I definitely had a gaming phase. Um, as of late, I haven't been much in gaming. Because it's like, I have a very special taste now when it comes to games. um, like, one game that um, two games actually, now that I think about it, that I do go back to uh, every so often is either Binding of Isaac Rebirth or Dota 2. And it's funny I mentioned both of those. Because with Dota 2, there's a toxicity within the matchups. And it's like, oh, why do I keep going back to this crap? But it's like I love the game. The aesthetic of it and the gameplay of it is very fun to me. Like I love the teamwork approach to it. Like back in um, when it was like costed money, uh, it's like that one. I feel like it was definitely the most fun for me back when it was like that old, uh, or that new really. Because again, it's like so funny to think about too. Now to think about it, like when I came across the game, it wasn't even like from my approach. Like I was gifted the game by a friend. He was like, "Hey, um, I think you should try this game out. I think you would love it." I was like, "Oh, okay," because it was like, "Oh, well, he gifted me a game. Let me try it out." Um, I was like, "Oh my gosh, like this is amazing," And so we would play um, that game a lot, and it's like looking back to now, um, a lot has changed with the game, and it's like I just play it for old time's sake, and that again the fun teamwork aesthetic. Because I mean, aside from all that, it's like yeah, there is a toxicity to it, but it's like once you get to a good matchup with some actually like thoughtful teammates, then yeah, the game can be very fun. And then with Binding of Isaac Rebirth, the game is like at first I got to love it because it gives me like the how to say it, like the mental training, because it's like you have to keep track of like where the tier shots are going and all that. It's like a lot to keep track of visually, and so I always love that game because of that. Because like um, I have a bit of a slowness at times, so I could even feel it too. In playing the game, I would get more attentive, and so it is funny to think about how that game is educational in its own way, because it's definitely not for everybody with how weird and bloody it can get, but it's like again, I find it so fun. Um, I remember how me and my cousin we'd have fun playing the game, and it's just man, I'm getting all sentimental here, y'all. Um, games is like looking back now. I wonder what kind of games I would want to get into now, because like from what I've seen, the gaming the direction for games is like, I'm not sure. Um, Looks can be deceiving for sure. Um, I suppose it's like I gotta um, be adaptable with playing games nowadays, because there is definitely something for everybody, and so I definitely remember just playing all kinds of games growing up. It wasn't just Mario or Sonic, it was a little bit of everything. It's just that now I'm more prioritized on drawing and pretty much just life in general. um, of course, when you're a kid, you don't have much to think about. Uh, but when you're an adult, well, now there's obviously more to think about with the finances and family and basically just life, you know? Yeah, it's like being a kid, life felt much more simpler, but now it's a little bit more interesting. um, Not to say it's a bad thing, for sure, by no means. Would I get back into the gaming field? Hmm, I think so. I mean, the only game I am into that has been a consistency is Smash Brothers. I made Mario. Um, Huge shocker, I know. um, but yeah, just me playing Smash Ultimate is enough for me. I'm not someone that has uh, multitaskful taste when it comes to games. Just give me a game that I like and I can go on for it for quite a while. But yeah, you know, um, it is funny for me to think about. um, so I'm looking for all kinds of sources for music to use in my videos, and I was really surprised to see that there's actually a library within YouTube, and the music there actually is pretty good. I dismissed that as um, an idea because it's like, is it, or I didn't think that YouTube would have an actual library for it, but no, they actually do. Um, a music website that I have come to absolutely love um, is Upbeat. And, I'm by no means being fake with that whatsoever. It actually has a lot of good stuff on there that is from all across genres. And I love it too because I'll be listening to some lofi on there while I'm drawing. It sets up the perfect aesthetic for whenever I want to draw and stick in the atmosphere of drawing. Because my attention span can get pretty small um, when it comes to drawing and staying in tune with what I'm drawing. So having some form of music playing in the background helps me to stay attentive. So I would need a source of music to be played in the background. And a lot of times I just play gaming music in the background on loop. But it's like getting that sense that it's like not enough. And it sounds really um, goofy to think about, but it's like music itself is a form of art and it's a beauty. You know, there's such good music out there, and it just every time it blows my mind to how like to be surprised by amazing music. And so yeah, I mean, what else can I say? Like, I definitely recommend it if you're looking for something to listening to whilst you're drawing or pretty much just doing anything. Like, Upbeat has something for you. And as ever, you don't need a subscription to have it play in the background. Um, you can have it play in the background for absolutely free. Um, the neat thing about it is that even if you were to get subscriptions on it, then you would be whitelisted. So, like, for example, being on YouTube, like right here for me, I wouldn't have to worry about um, crediting the artist. I could just, you know, use the video, use the music in the video, and I won't have to worry about crediting them because I'll be in the clear by Upbeat. And so that's a nice feature of it. I am now thinking like about using it whenever I'm doing lives on YouTube because that whenever I want to do lives on YouTube, that is kind of the feel that I want to go for. The lofi, the chill kind of atmosphere. Because it's nice. Um, not having to worry about what it is that I want to use as far as music is concerned. And even more than that, when the source material is actually really good, like genuinely great. So, yes, I absolutely love Upbeat. It's been quite the lifesaver as of late. Um, like talking about YouTube, um, I don't want to bore anybody, but I do really like it. It like brings out growth, and um, it's motivating in its own way because to see the numbers grow, and I understand definitely not uh, putting your motivation in the numbers because numbers are superficial and all that, right? So I definitely don't put a lot of focus on that, but it is still really nice to see when uh, people find interest in it, in me, and enough to even leave a comment and be kind with it as well. So that's always a good motivator for me to keep going and keep trying new things because I'm still coming up with ideas for content and figuring out my placement in this crazy world of content creation and balancing it between art and YouTube. Because they're like two different mediums, but I want them both to be in unison. So, yes, I do ever so hope that you have enjoyed these sketches that have been playing in the background, as well as my studies, and that you've taken a loving to them. Because I know I have, looking back on them and knowing that there has been improvement, and feeling that improvement is oh so amazing. Um, as ever, again, like YouTube has inspired me to keep creating art and finding new ways to approach it. Because it's like, again, too, um, I absolutely love Pinterest. It's been a good motivator for me to keep growing and finding things to draw so that I don't have to put so much effort into finding something to get inspiration from. So, yeah, I do hope that you've enjoyed our chit chat, um, as well as our little talk, because, I always do love getting into um, our conversations with these and having fun with making videos. And so, yeah, and I do hope that you've um, do subscribe and like and get in the comments. Let me know what y'all's games that you guys grew up with, and we'll see. Have a little connection session with childhood memories and all that. Um, with all that being said, though, I'll see you guys in the next one. And as ever, take care and bye bye.